Okay, Knights of the Frozen Throne. The final set. Yeah. And the dingo scrap pap pap. Right, we start off with the Death Knight. 5 mana. Algalon the Neutron Star. Battle Cry. Summon a random Star Keeper. Augment 3. Summon all 3. And you get your standard 5 armour. So let's see what those Star Keepers are. Starkeeper Nova. 4 mana 4/4. At the end of your turn, mark a random enemy minion. At the start of your turn, destroy it. So what that does is, it's like casting corruption, but if this minion dies before the start of your turn, it doesn't get the corruption effect. So it's a 4 mana 4/4 with a 1 mana spell built in. Very nice. That's also what this next one is. Starkeeper Dwarf. 4 mana 4/4. At the end of your turn, summon a 0/2 taunt and gain 2 armor, which is the same as that 1 mana spell we saw in one of the earlier episodes. So yeah, again, another strong, stable body. Pretty nice. Nice little effect. Jobs are good and very good on turn 5. And on turn 8, if you augment, you've got all 3, so the added benefits work out nice. Finally, Starkeeper Nebula. 4 mana 4/4, spell damage and heal power plus 1. Death threat will give this effect to a random friendly minion. So that will make spells deal 1 more damage, heals restore 1 more health. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your auntie. The effect lingers a bit more because you might not be able to get value from this effect straight away. Because if you choose random Starkeeper and you get this one, then you know you'd be screwed sometimes because you might not have the heals and the spells on hand. I mean, chances are you will, because like Chronos spells, but you know, sometimes if you don't, so yeah. And the hero powers are 2 mana Dark Star, deal 2 damage and switch to Light Star, and 2 mana Light Star, restore 4 health and switch to Dark Star. So how these work are, you'll cast a Dark Star, you deal your 2 damage, you always start on this, and then it'll switch to Light Star, you can cast that in the same turn, and then it'll switch back, and then you can't cast it again, because it's 1 hero power like each turn, so you can cast each of them once. It's kind of like the Warlock's hero power, but we'll see a bit more synergy in the class, and you get to have this hero power earlier on and cast it in the same turn as your Death Knight. So that's why it's a bit more balanced out that way. Right, Cosmic Surge is 1 mana Dark, deal 2 damage. Light, restore 5 health. So if you've got the Dark hero power on, it's deal 2 damage. If you've got the Light one on, restore 5 health. And it gains double benefit from heal power and spell damage. Now if you don't have either hero powers and you play this before you have a Death Knight, it won't do anything apart from trigger effects like when you play a spell or whatever. And that is because it's such a strong value card that it needs to have its condition, because deal 2 damage and restore 5 health are both 1 mana cards that have seen play, and then gaining that double benefit as well, that like amps it up to be very strong. And the fact that you basically get to choose which one it is because your hero power's switching, like it's very, very strong. So it has that condition where you need to have played the Death Knight first, and you need to run this in that deck just to balance it out. However, this one, Nexus Cultist, 3 mana 3/3, Light, Divine Shield, Dark, deal 3 damage randomly split among all enemies. This one doesn't have that condition, you still get the 3/3. However, it's either a better Scarlet Crusader or it's a 3/3 that casts Arcane Missiles. Either way, it's a 3/3 with a 1 mana spell on top of it. So it's pretty strong, nice, strong and stable body. Hashtag vote Tresemme. This is my shitty typing because it was meant to be a secret with a hidden spell mana cost. But you know what? I don't do A-level English. I totally do A-level English. Don't judge me that I can't write, okay? So it's 3 mana. After 2 turns, summon any minions that died in those turns. So it's like a mass resurrection thing, but it doesn't do something when you play it. You've got to wait and it can be slow, but it does give you those 2 turns to set up like what minions you want dead and what you want coming back to life, and It can be really strong when used correctly, otherwise it could just be really slow and very little impact. Against aggro it's probably not too good, but against control it could really shift the game around. Undead Foreseer is 2 mana 1/3 battle cry. Discover the next card you will draw. So you don't draw the card, but you choose what the next card you draw will be. So you'll discover 3 cards from your deck. You choose one, and then if you do a draw a card effect or at the start of your turn when you draw a card, it'll be that one that you chose. So it's nice to like reduce the RNG a little bit, like help you get your combos going. It's pretty good. Pretty tits. It stops you drawing your 1-drops on turn 10. It's very nice. Disciple of Zonya is another Zonya creature that we have seen. It's 3 mana 2/4 taunt. When this minion takes fatal damage, give it stasis 1 time only. So it's like you'll hit. It's a 3 mana 2/4. If you hit it for 4, it won't take the damage. It'll become stasis until your next turn, and then it's just a 2/4 with taunt after that. So it's kind of a better value tentacle. It's quite a nice body. It's quite anti-aggro. It's quite nice. Of course, when it gains stasis, it does lose the taunt whilst it's in stasis, though. Otherwise, that'd be fucking broken. Oh, you playing that, are you? Oh, I see. Right, Arcane Fury is a new mechanic. It's 4 mana. Spell Fury, deal 3 damage. So what Spell Fury does is, it's like Wind Fury, but for spells. So you get to do it twice. You don't have to pay the 4 mana twice, because that'd be fucking ridiculous. But it's like you attacking twice with that spell. So you deal your 3 damage, and then you choose your next target and deal it again. So it can be a fireball, or it could be 2 dark bombs. It's good value, and each burst of 3 will gain the spell damage separately, so it'll be deal 4 damage and deal 4 more damage. So yeah, it's really good value for money, good bang for your buck, good shizzle for your whizzle, good forage in the garage. Archthief Apprentice is 6 mana 5/5 battle cry, increase your maximum mana by 1. Death Rattle, add a coin to your hand. So where the body's really slow at being a 6 mana 5/5 that doesn't really do anything, it casts like a wild growth. The late game value from it makes up for it a lot, because you need to think about it fair. Every mana you spend over 10 mana is kind of like paying off this card, because it's mana you never would have had, and the coin kind of pays back for it as well. So you could kind of think of it as a 5 mana 5/5, but it's just a bit slower, but it gives you a much stronger late game. Like, you'll always have more mana than the opponent. You'll always be getting that extra bit of uff per turn. That's right, ladies, getting that extra bit of uff. I know you like it. Right, Eternal Sacrifice, 3 mana, deal 1 damage to enemies, then draw a card for each minion that died. Augment 2, deal 2 damage. So what this does is, it's kind of like a Fan of Knives, but if you don't kill anything, it's just an Arcane Explosion for 3 mana. If you kill one thing, it's a Fan of Knives. If you kill 2 things, it's better than a Fan of Knives. So it's conditional, but it just might work. Then Augment 2, so it becomes kind of like a Consecration, but for 1 more mana, because you're probably going to draw a card. Like, if you're dealing 2 damage, something's going to die. So you could think of it as a Consecration with draw a card, and it could potentially draw you more than 1. So, yes, pretty tits. It was going to be something else, but we'll get back to that, because now we have the Legendary. 8 mana 4/10, Aprillian Blade of Time, Battle Cry, attack 3 random enemies. If this minion takes fatal damage, gain stasis for 1 turn. So what that means is, you'll play it, and then it'll do its attack to 3 random enemies, dealing 4 damage, taking the damage that minion has. But then it gains stasis if it takes fatal damage during that attack only. So that effect doesn't linger. All of that is the battle cry. And what it does is, it'll do its attacks. If it takes fatal damage, it stops attacking, gains the stasis, and then next turn you've still got the minion on the board. So either way, you're getting yourself a minion that's guaranteed to stick around for next turn. So yeah, it's pretty good value. You're going to get a lot of attacks out of it, but because it's random, it might not get you many kills. However, if the enemy has no minions on the board, it's a solid 12 damage to the face, which is pretty fun. Not gonna lie, it can be your win condition so many times, because it works like a pyroblast does for freeze mage. So if you can like Alex Straza and then play this, you've only got to scrape together 3 more damage. It's pretty ridiculous, but that's why it loses its effect afterwards and it just becomes a standard body minion. And the board does have to be empty to do that, and in the late game that probably ain't gonna happen. Unless you're running like some of the good removal this class does have. But yes, that's all the cards. Here's the card that didn't make it through. Coexisting Sacrifice. 1 mana, choose 2 enemy minions. When one takes damage, the other now takes equal damage. Now the reason I didn't keep this as a card is because, one, I found it really hard to value because there's nothing like it in the game, so there's no examples of how much mana it should actually be worth, because no doubt everything else that I've made is probably bad valued, like that legendary we've just seen. But like this could be ridiculous and it could be terrible, I don't know, because granted you could like kill 2 minions for the price of 1, but you could also just do nothing. Like, you play this, what have you done? You've done nothing. It's not until you've played something else that it's actually done something. So I didn't know how to sort it out. And the other reason was just for like what I've said, like it doesn't really do anything when you play it. So I thought we'd change it to something that implements the augment effect again and just adds a bit more versatility. But yeah, those are all the cards for Knights of the Frozen Throne. I'll make more to this class when the next Hearthstone expansion's revealed, and the reason I haven't done like last year's sets is because they'll be rotating out soon anyway. So I just thought we'd just start from here and just work our way through it from there. Let me know if you enjoyed, and thank you all for watching. I guess like it's been rather fun making these cards and hearing what people think about them. So yeah, let me know what you think. Do you want to see more, or shall I just call it here? And, you know, Merry Christmas. Wash your hands.